Good morning, friends, followers, and channel members. A daytime stream, how nice. Oh, we are back at Toulouse, as you can see, the wonderful new airport released a couple of days ago by Flightbeam. We landed here last night, took a little tour around the airfield, and it is some amazing scenery. If you didn't catch that, check out the flight we did yesterday when we landed here, and then we checked out all of the Airbus factory and all the static aircraft, looking really fantastic. And today we are off to Nantes, which is available from Orbex. So two handcrafted scenery airports that we're flying today in France. Now the operational flight plan, I will give that to you guys in the YouTube chat in just a moment, and then we shall look at getting ourselves set up. Interestingly enough, the weather here in Toulouse and also at Nantes as well was looking pretty misty and foggy when the flight plan was being created. Thankfully, it seems to be that has since burnt off, so we're not going to have too much of an issue with regards to visibility. Let me get that operational flight plan in the chat for you guys. Bear with me 1 second. So that, if you're watching on YouTube, is now pinned and available in the chat. Good morning to all viewers on Facebook and on Twitch as well this morning. So S-Rimers, Dark Fury, Oki, Loose Aviation, Abudi, and Josh Rogers. Renato, great to see you as well, and Andy Lasky, good to have you this morning. Renato, you've been a member for 2 months. Thank you so much for your support. Good morning to you. Flywing, hi all. I'm not even going to attempt to speak French. Nice to discover the new Toulouse scenery. Have a nice flight. Thank you very much, Flywing. Good to have you on board. Not a long flight, only about an hour. In fact, I think it's just slightly under 1 hour in its total flight time. But we've obviously got to get everything set up. First flight of the day, so our aircraft is currently cold and dark. Christian, good morning to you. Let's look at getting ourselves on board. I am having an issue with the graphics this morning, and it's an old problem which I can't seem to fix, and I know a few other people have seen it. Not sure if you're going to be able to check this out. Let me, I think it happens on the screen as well, but just, yeah, you can see the top of the screen. We're getting the pixelations again. Perhaps if I do that, you might be able to see it a little bit better. Nothing I can do about it. I've tried so many different things. I know some guys in the Discord server as well also experiencing that. But there we are. Look at all those static aircraft. It looks beautiful. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Mark. Great to have you on board. Who's flying with us today? Look at the Airbus factory over there. That's just beautiful. I'm going to really enjoy coming in to land at this airport in the daytime at some point. There's the lovely Belugas, my lad's favourite aircraft. And we are on VATSIM as well this morning, so we've obviously got some people flying with us. My apologies to whoever that is, because I clearly don't have your livery installed. Or if I do, your call sign may not be accurate. So, great to see. Oh, so many people loading in now at Toulouse. This is going to be fun. We've also got an Air France as well. I can see just hiding there over the other side of the terminal. Let's get on board. So, nothing I can do. Please just ignore the distractions at the top. Let's go ahead get the flight pad turned on. Also see that sadly it seems to be affecting frame rates as well, which is a bit of a pain. I would say that could be the scenery, but given that we did some wonderful droning around last night when we came here without any FPS issues, I don't think it is the scenery that is causing that. If anyone does have a solution to the pixelations, then I'd love to hear it. I'll try anything. Why can't we get this linked from SimBrief? There we go, third time lucky. So current QNH here is 1028. Let's just look through that operational flight plan and check what fuel we're going to take. Well, actually, I'm going to go and get the latest weather. Let's get the aircraft powered up. We'll get the latest weather for Nantes because that morning mist may have now burnt off. So we'll get the external power connected up. I think you're going to find that the wind is broken at high 11s. It's stuck at around 0 degrees. Okay. Christian, your solution for that pixel problem is only an expensive one. You see, when did it start? I want to say Sim Update 5. We seem to be blaming Sim Update 5 for everything, but yeah, could have been Sim Update 5. CRV test. And we'll get the ideas aligned as well. Nav logo lights. No smoking. And emergency exit signs. Get the packs off. Don't need those on just yet. And let's do the fire checks for that first flight of the day. APU fire test. Morning, Khan. Good morning to you. Engine 1. And engine 2. Josh, yeah, you need to manually download every airline livery, etc. The VMR file only tells vPilot which livery and model to look for. If you haven't got the model or livery installed, it obviously can't display them. Well guys, hopefully I'm back with you. Let's hope we have a bit more luck than last time. Just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how many times you reboot your PC, nuke it, reinstall Windows 10, reinstall the simulator, you're still going to get the occasional crash to the desktop. I say occasional, that's the first one for a while. Christian, you've been looking in the forums. Most people had the pixel problems only with run scaling above 100. Others say that the issue was solved with another GPU driver. I wonder which one is the one to go for, given that the current one isn't actually good for us, is it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fire up the Navigraph charts whilst this all loads in. We may as well put the time to good use, and we'll do our briefings whilst on the ground, shall we? We're about to tell us that we're going to continue in normal mode. I don't see any particular reason why we shouldn't. So let me get Navigraph charts open, and we'll do our briefing as we head to load in and Toulouse. Hopefully that's going to load in nicely. Okay, so I'm going to try and park back at the same gate. Hopefully no one else is parked there. So that's gate Echo 42. I've just realised as well, it means I've also lost everything that I pinned here. Let me go ahead and get these all set up. And I'll also get our charts for Nantes as well. So it's going to be runway 3, we're going to be planning on arriving in. Not doing the RNAV today. Good morning, Paul. Dr. Magic, you haven't had any issues with the new GPU driver. So many people had been saying that they have had problems, haven't they? And Christian's just said, yeah, it's all a hardware compatibility thing. It's very strange, isn't it? So many different thousands combinations of hardware that it's now impossible to sort it all out. Okay, so let's do the that's the wrong chart, hang on. Let's do our little brief once I've got the right charts up. There we go. Good morning, Paul. Right, so we're going to be parked, hopefully stand Echo 42, no ATC is online. We're going to push back facing east on Tango. And no, we're not going to be pushing back facing north. We're going to push back facing north and then we'll taxi out via Tango and Papa 50. That will then get us up to the head. November 8, runway 14 left. On departure, runway 14 left. Nice straightforward departure. Straight out to a distance of 8 miles before making that turn. 4,000 feet, 8 miles. But not before 8 miles. That's the important thing. Before making our right-hand turn back over the Toulouse VOR and up and out to Lacou. Minimum safe altitude, as we can see, 2,900 feet on that. The weather in Toulouse, that morning mist is now cleared, so if we need to come back in and land in Toulouse, that's not going to be a problem. The aircraft's the same one I've been flying for the last few streams, so we're on the still a test version of the dev build, which does have working TCAS. No NOTAMs to be aware of here in Toulouse. Threats to be aware of. Nothing too much, to be fair. We've got that morning mist is cleared, and we've got a nice straightforward departure. Noise abatement 2, so thrust reduction, acceleration 1,489 feet. That's all the same. Engine out exactly the same as well. And that minimum safe altitude, which I touched on a moment ago, is 2,900 feet. So that's our straightforward departure brief done. Let's talk about the emergency procedure. Of course, we'll just use standard Airbus emergency procedures. And if we have an engine failure or any problems after V1, once we've got the aircraft into the air, it is a standard engine out procedure, and it is a left-hand turn to the Tango Oscar Echo NDB, and that's at 2,000 feet. If we just have a quick look where that would be, is that going to be shown on any of our approaches? Can anyone see the toe? There it is, the toe. Christian, that's a good idea. Next time you have these pixels, turn the render scaling back to 110%, then go back down to 100% and check to see if they've gone. We could try that, couldn't we? Wonder if that would work. Yeah, so there's our hold. We'll get up to something sensible. Our initial climb on our departure is flight level 70 anyway, so I'd be happy to continue flight level 70 if we needed to do the engine out procedure. As that hold we can do between 4,000 and 8,000 feet, and that sets us up nicely for a return back to Toulouse. So all I'm waiting for now is the simulator just to wake up. We'll get back in, we'll fire everything up, and we'll get going. We've already done the brief. We can get the passengers loaded straight away as well, just save a little bit of time. We've still got to set the box up and things, but hopefully now you'll know what it is we're doing, so I don't have to explain it as we go along. Oh, Nick's flying with us. Fantastic. Thank God I've got TCAS. Gate Echo 42. Let's get ourselves set in there. Hopefully with a little bit of rolling cash on board. It shouldn't take too long for this to load in. Once that's loaded, we'll also get the Flight Live Studio box up at the top of the screen working as well. Nick, you make one mistake and it follows you around for the rest of your life. It's not even midday yet, no. I want to be landed by midday if at all possible. Then I can have a snooze this afternoon before grabbing the boy from school. Christian is getting out of control. When your life is filled with crashed desktops, you need something to make it swim by in a much more joyful, yet at the expense of Nick. Come on, simulator, let's get it loaded. Does anyone else sometimes think that their PC just fires up in a bad state sometimes? I mean, the amount of messing around I've been doing with the sim since doing its full reinstall and nuking Windows, etc. I've been zipping around all over the place. Drone cameras, all of the cameras, slewing around as well, literally throwing everything at it and no problems at all. Not even the pixelations on the top of the screen, as you just saw. Suddenly this morning I fire it up, there's pixelations at the top of the screen, and whilst we're still at the gate I don't even get inside the aircraft and we have a crash the desktop. So I just think it's so very strange indeed. Autopilot disconnect. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do, we're just going to get ourselves back in on VATSIM. Frame rates already look a lot better, which is encouraging. What's our flight sign? 497 Romeo. Let's get ourselves connected in. Hopefully that will all be done. Shall we start again? So, is the GPU knocking around anywhere? There he is. Let's try again then, gang. Jetway. Have we got a jetway at this parking stand? Yes, we do. Right, I'm going to rattle through these flows. So, battery voltage is fine. External power is connected. Ground control. CRV test. And get the ideas aligned. Nav logo lights. Packs off. Do you know what? I'm sure we can skip the APU fire drills, etc. We've already done that. Let's get the APU master on. 1, 2, 3, and get that started up. As represented in the 5 hotel departure, looks to me like 5 alphas for jets, 5 hotel is for props. Maybe you missed something. To be honest, you've got to. We should be doing the 5 alpha. The 5 hotel, as you say, is for the smaller aircraft. It may be that the sim brief has just given us the 5 hotel, just because it gives. It's not perfect, to be honest with you. Just having a quick look to see if there's anything that tells us that it is 1 not for piston aircraft or helicopter, 2 for piston aircraft, helicopter prop by ATC. Where are those figures? It's not actually telling us. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so there you go. We will be doing the alpha. Its sim brief has given us the hotel. Good spot. Very good spot. Right. Either way, it's still. We actually briefed the right one. It is 8 miles out before we make that turn. Right, APU is on. Let's get that fly pad on. Alan, you're currently divorcing this game. You wouldn't be the first. It's just annoying, isn't it? Because it's so good when it works. It is so good. There we are. Let me get the fly banner at the top working as well. Christian, personally, you only have rarely problems with Microsoft Flight Simulator, but you do hope the next sim update that is supposed to be a bug fixes only is working things out for all the fellas who constantly have bugs, because so many do, don't they? Lima Fox, Bravo Oscar, Lima Fox, Romeo, Sierra, Alpine, 947, Romeo. Okay, Fly Live Studio should be working. Yeah, I can see the frame rates now are jumping up to 50, 55. That wasn't happening before. It was just a daft setup. Hey Willie, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Guys, if in the VIP Discord I may have given you some false flight plan information. We're off to Nantes today. Alan, you're 700 hours in, won't run at all after 2 reinstalls. Oh man, that sounds painful. That sounds very painful. Right, I want to get the latest weather at Nantes. I want to see what's happening. That will then let me know what fuel I'm going to be taking. So let me just go ahead, AOC, init press, get that pulled in. 57 minutes. And we'll just do the in A, so the uplink is done there. Right, I'll go back to that in a minute and we'll do the full cockpit prep setup in a moment. But I want a weather request for what's happening at our destination. Let's send that off. Right, whilst I'm waiting for that. Right, so our overhead prep is complete. QH is currently 1028. And that is all set. Pedestal, we're on Unicom, we're on the guard. Audio control panel is fine. Switching panel, thrust masters, engine selector, spoilers, flaps, parking brake, transponder. Set that score 2000. FCU, we've already briefed our initial climbs. Flight level 70, flight directors are on. Let's turn up the brightness a little bit, shall we, there? And turn up the brightness of the panels. Iron alignment in around 4 minutes time. There's that company message. Nick, you've planned for ends. Quick. That's my fault. I do apologise to you, Nick. There, you can have a go at me instead for a change. Right, so what's the weather doing at our destination? Oh, weather is still pretty low. Technically it is above Cat 1 minimums, but we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, so visibility is improving. Either way, we're going to take a little bit of extra fuel. What fuel are we going to take? Let's check on the overhead, on the plug fuel. We've got 5.2, let's take 5.5. 5.5 tons should be more than adequate. So that's real time. Okay, refueling is underway. APU is running. Let's get our APU bleed on. We'll give that a minute and then we shall get the passengers on board. I need to replace that pinned message as well, don't I? Paul, didn't see the pixel problem at the start of the screen, so it might be something else. Same graphics card, pixel problem was solved with a little edit to the user config, sharpen to 0 and film grain to 0. That's interesting. Maybe something I can have a look at some point. So, just need to come back, set the box up. I want to get self-loading cargo running as well in a moment. Another minute, we'll get the packs on, we'll get passengers on board. So a big welcome to everyone. It's been a slightly delayed start to the stream, thanks to a PC restart. But now we're back on it. There we go. Let's get the packs on. Now, have we got the jetway over? Yes, we do. Have I heard of any landing gear faults with the fly-by-wire through 2NX? TC officer, but you did a landing into Edinburgh and crashed because the gear wasn't down. Gear lever was set to down on the thrustmaster. I've not had that. Always worth checking, though. That's part of the landing checklist. ECAM memo landing no blue. There would certainly be a blue line with the landing gear telling you what you have not done. So definitely worth keeping an eye on that. Run that final checklist. That's what they're there for. Okay, passengers. Let's finally get you guys boarded, shall we?
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, and doors are open. Passengers are boarding. So a payload that's quite low today, not that heavy. A payload of 14664. That matches up with our flight plan, and our sort of fuel weight 57.2. Again, that's all good. Let's move over to our data page. IRS, we have 3 nav green. We've got LEAP engine database information in there, so that's good. Valid direct cycle. Init A page, let's put in our alternate. Now you might be wondering why Bilbao is our alternate. The reason for that is because of the crap weather over France this morning when the flight plan was being created. There wasn't anywhere we could go to safely. Flight number today, EasyJet Europe, so that's going to be Alpine, of course. Alpine 497 Romeo. Cost index of 8. Now, we've got flight level 180. Again, that's a sim brief issue. Our actual flight level is going to be flight level 320. Yeah, 320. And the tropo is 42,400. That's close enough for jazz. Okay, onto the flight plan. So, departing runway 14 left.
Toulouse traffic, Air France 624, stand by 10, push and start.
Oh, I love hearing traffic. And we're on the 5 Alpha departure. Insert. And an arrival into ILS 3 Zulu on the Manic 1 Charlie. So that discontinuity, 248 miles. I've got 278 miles on the operational flight plan, so a slight difference. Let's just go through and check that it all looks good on the plan page. So following the takeoff, we have 2,500. Let's have a look. So 2,500, then we're above 4,000 feet, 8 miles, Toulouse, back round to Toulouse. Not quite sure why we haven't got a circle showing there, never mind. However, that's then Toulouse Laco, so that's all good and proper. And then let's just keep scrolling through, check what the arrival looks like. That's interesting. Did we put an arrival in? ILS 03 and the Manc 1 Charlie. Oh, must have not finished that. Probably why the distance wasn't correct. Approach, what's the IAF for that? Larrock. As we're coming in. And insert. Let's try now. There we go. That arrival looks good. Onto the RadNav page then. We want to lose VOR in the RadNav box. Let's just check how, what is it? Tango Oscar uniform. And for our engine out procedure, we want the tow NDB, which we briefed right at the start while the sim was reloading. I bet if you searched hard enough, you'd find some fantastic waypoint names and NDB names. Christian, you're 100% sure that this passenger sound was recorded at a company party. Right, good. All of that is on. We can turn that as well. And just in case we need it, fix info, we'll pop the tow VOR in there. VOR, it's an NDB. And the inbound track is 258. That's the inbound track, and it is left turn, so actually we want 078 in there. The reciprocal. There we go. Onto the init B page, so we've got our zero fuel weight, 7.2. What's our trip wind for today? Trip wind is a headwind of 14. Block fuel 2.7, we've got 5.4. Takeoff weight 62.4, so we're below the maximum landing weight. I would have thought so too, with the few passengers that we've got on board today. Fuel for the alternate. Why haven't we got our fuel for the alternate? Oh, in a B page. Is that in there? Yeah. That's strange. Fuel for the alternate then is actually 1.9 tons, so that's strange. I haven't seen that happen before. There we go, extra 20 minutes, 6 minutes of flight. Thrust reduction acceleration here is 1,489, so rounded up, that is correct, 1,489 as well for the engine out acceleration. We're going to do flaps 1 for the departure, toga takeoff, and let's calculate the V-speeds. There we go. Just double check that chart again. No restrictions or anything like that, speed restrictions. So the main thing is we need to fly straight out runway heading for 8 miles. Climb out runway track, 2,500 feet, intercept the Toulouse 142 radial, and then at or above 4,000 before 8 miles, right turn to intercept the Toulouse 174 radial inbound to Toulouse. We could actually pop that in just in case the autopilot doesn't do what it says we want to do. So if I go back to the flight plan and fix info, we can put the Toulouse VOR in there, which is Tango Oscar uniform, and that inbound track is going to be 174. There it is. So once we get out 8 miles from the Toulouse VOR, which is that not showing? Just might not be picking it up until we're airborne. But yeah, then we'll make a left-hand turn to intercept that radial. If the autopilot decides not to play ball and let me do it with the autopilot on. Right, happy with that. And I think we're almost about ready to go. Refueling is complete. So let's get the passenger signs all turned on. Oh, no smoking sign wasn't on, and the emergency exit signs weren't on. That would have been a bad cockpit prep checklist had we gone ahead and run it. That's me rushing following the start of the stream. Jim, what makes me decide between Flex and Toga? Whether I've got the real-world Flex calculations in front of me. I don't today, so that is why we're going Toga. As your plan looks different to mine on the ground at the moment. Wait to see if it works itself out. Don't worry about it being different. Just make sure that what you know exactly what your aircraft is doing and what it should be doing. Remember, don't ever let the aircraft take you somewhere your brain didn't visit 5 minutes earlier. Right, so I think we're almost about done. We can get rid of the external ground power as well. Don't need that. Off you go. Check that fuel quantity page. Alright, so let's run the before start checklist to the line. Cockpit preparation is complete. Signs are on and auto. Ideas we check 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 5480 kilograms and balance. The FMGS is set and altimeter is 1028.
Right, yeah, we're just about set up here, so we're happy that you've closed the doors once everyone's on board, and we'll get going. Thank you.
Boarding is still underway, but we're almost done. It shouldn't take much longer.
Just turning those screens down and turning the flight pad off. Just
Toulouse traffic, is
keep the frame rates up whilst we're at this handcrafted airport.
E50.
So I'm just going to keep an eye on that ground chart. So we're at Echo 42, Echo 50, that's the aircraft next to us that's pushing back. Remember, we're going to be pushing back facing west or north. And then north on Tango 51. Where Tango 55. And from Tango 55 onto Papa to a holding point runway 4 left. Last couple of passengers remaining, so let's just sit back and wait. Everything else is all looking set and good. How many guys are watching this whilst you're pretending to work? Hell, I'm flying this while I'm pretending to work.
Toulouse traffic Air France 624 Taxi by November 8 runway 14 left via Tango 50 and Papa.
Wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck this morning, let me welcome you on board this EasyJet aircraft as you settle in for what we hope is going to be a most enjoyable flight. The weather today doesn't look to be posing much of a problem, so we should have a nice smooth ride for you throughout the duration of the flight. And as the cabin crew continue making their last preparations, if you could please assist them by getting yourselves sat down, your seatbelts fastened, and make yourselves nice and comfortable. The ground crew have now finished loading the aircraft, and we're just about finished with all our pre-flight checks, so it won't be long until we are pushing back. If you could please give the cabin crew your full attention as they go through the safety briefing, we'd very much appreciate it.
Pushback
So on behalf of
and
myself and the First Officer, we'd like to say thank you for choosing EasyJet today, and we look forward to give you a safe flight.
Okay, we're almost ready to go. I just want to put that inbound radio as well in here. Just another thought. Again, it's backing up in case the autopilot decides not to do its job. So the radial is the 174 radial for Toulouse. There we go. It's now picked that up, actually, so that's good. Actually, I don't want the radial, I want the inbound. I want the reciprocal on there, don't I? So I actually want 354. That's better. Right, we're on Unicom, so let's get ready to go and tell other people what it is we're doing. I'm just going to call the ground crew over. Normally you would contact air traffic control and request pushback clearance before doing all that. But as there is no ATC here, we'll just let our aircraft around us know when we are pushing back, when we are ready to go. Oh goodness me, there's a traffic jam. We're not going anywhere for the time being. Great to see so many aircraft there. Who's in the... whose livery do I not have? If you are on stream.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. Standing by for pushback.
Right, so standing by for pushback. We're not going anywhere at the moment, obviously, because of the traffic behind us. So, Ryan E., good morning to you. Christian, you're watching at work. Mark, you're watching at work. It makes it more enjoyable. RLS Print and Design, you're hand-folding 3,000 for an urgent forms for an urgent delivery, so the stream's really heavy, get fly by. Go on, RLS. See if you can get it all done by the time we end up in Nantes, shall we? We'll race you. Daniel just loaded in 30 minutes behind to give us a chance for it. Yeah, don't worry about that. It's just good to have you on board with us. Paul, I've not got that test build with us just yet. So we've got the Iberia is showing. SAS isn't showing. That's strange. We do have SAS loaded in. I'm almost certain of that. Right, I think we're about ready to push back then. So let's get on to Unicom and make the call. Toulouse, traffic Alpine 497 Romeo, stand Echo 42, pushing back north on Tango 51. Anthony, good morning.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Traffic easy, Factory 5, pushing back, and Foxtrot 50.
So there's another aircraft pushing back all the way down there. That's not going to be in our way. Let's release the parking brakes.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start.
Jonathan, thank you for following on Twitch. So pushing back, I'm just going to slow the speed down as always. I think it starts a bit fast. So engine mode selected to start and starting engine 1. Paranoia check. Lead is open, isn't it? Yeah. So engine 1 is now starting. This scenery looks phenomenal. I love having so many of us flying. AIG does an amazing job. Yes, it's time consuming to set up, but it doesn't actually, it's not difficult in terms of the amount of work you physically need to put in. You just need to set it all up and leave it to download, really. Rain, hello, hope you're well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle.
Toulouse traffic, French Coast 4724 is taxiing to the holding point for runway 14
Please be aware
left
that
by
your
a
nearest
pop-up.
exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap.
Starting
pull on
engine
each
2.
side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together.
Toulouse traffic easy 230 Delta, departing runway 14 Lima.
Inside the air.
14 left.
When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube.
That is not a bad
There is a
pushback.
light and whistle for a
Toulouse
Definitely
traffic
don't work.
easy 464, pushback and start, stand, uniform 30, facing north.
Armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
Little tip, always make sure you push back straight for a little while so that your nose gear is back facing straight. Otherwise, the tug disconnects, your steering wheel is at an angle, and then when you set off, you're suddenly going in a direction you don't expect. Stop the pushback
Okay,
there.
pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear it to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding
Toulouse
position.
traffic Air France 624 line up and wait, runway 14 left.
Rain, you just finished watching the video on how to divert from alternate airport. Oh, thanks. Really enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed that. Andreas, no, the Christmas delivery is available for download on our Discord server for the channel members. It is a channel livery. Okay, let's do our after start flows. Spoilers, rudder, flaps 1, 25.9, get that set on the trim. After start checklist, anti-ice not required, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim is 24.9, rudder trim 0. Swedish AF, yeah, it is indeed amazing scenery. You should see, if you haven't already, check out this flight we did yesterday where we landed here, then took the drone camera out over to the Airbus side of the field. It is stunning. Okay, all is looking good here, and pushback tug is clear, back to where he needs to be. We'll announce our taxi then. We're going to go down here, we're going to take Tango 50. Toulouse traffic, Alpine 497 Romeo, taxiing now via Tango 50 onto Papa for holding short at runway 14 left. Right, so we've got the taxi light on, let's take the parking brake off.
Toulouse traffic Air France 624, takeoff, runway 14 left.
Flight control check, full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, rudder, full left, neutral. I'm avoiding the traffic jam ahead of us. Hey, I'm doing a nick.
Toulouse traffic, French post 4724 is lining up runway 14 Lima or 14 left via November 8th.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Oh, that looks amazing. Goodbye, Air France. To be fair, I need to stop ripping on Nick because I did give him false flight plan information for this flight today. So he's already behind the game.
Toulouse traffic is going to be in 428, taxi to line 1314 left via Tango 55 and Papa Toulouse traffic.
The thing is, we're all secretly inspired by Nick to get to our destination faster. Okay, let's do our PEDS check. So QNH 1028, still 1028, it's going to be toga checked anyway. Engine out procedure, standard engine out procedure, left turn at 2,000 feet to the tow NDB. Inbound track is 258 left turns. And departure is the Laku 5 Alpha, that's what we have, the FMGC is all set. Stop altitude 7,000 feet, that's all set as well. So before takeoff, checklist to the line. Flight controls have been checked, departure briefing confirmed, flaps setting config 1, FMA takeoff data 129 blue, 134 magenta, climb nav blue, 152, 7000 blue and toga, transponder is set, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, AFB is stowed.
Toulouse traffic, French post 4724, departing runway 14 left.
Traffic easy 5365, taxi runway 32 left via Papa, November holding point, Mike 2.
Someone's departing runway 32 left. Oh well, each to their own. At least it's not 32 right.
Easy 464, taxiing to holding point runway 14 left via Papa.
Nick, your radio calls are amazing. They just sound like you've got the voice of a real pilot, Nick. I can imagine you working for British Airways. Look at the belugas. Okay, check our holding point just here. Whilst we're sat here then, let's just check those brake temperatures. They're fine. Our approach path looks clear. Not heard anything on the radios either. That's all good. We've just had a departure there. We'll give that, we can give that a minute 30. Christian, you're off for your lunch. Fair enough. You need to pop us on the big screen, Christian. Nick, stop buttering you up. Yeah, I'm feeling guilty. Okay, we'll line up and wait. Toulouse traffic, Alpine 497 Romeo, lining up runway 14 left and waiting for 1 minute for separation. Okay, it's got the strobes on and all of the lights that go with it. TCAS and the transponder. Packs. So I hope I've given you guys some good entertainment this morning. And education, of course. Something a little bit different for a Tuesday morning, isn't it?
Traffic ATC 5365, taxiing crossing runway 14 left.
Oh, we've got traffic taxiing across 14 left. Well, that's fine. We're holding anyway due to the traffic that departed ahead of us, which we do now have on TCAS, as we can see. So, that traffic has now crossed, that's fine. Christian, you don't have a screen in the kitchen, you're not Richie Rich. You've got a phone or a tablet. RLS print design, so the packs are the pressurization and air conditioning for the cabin. Turning them off means that the engines aren't having to supply air bleed into the cabin, so the engines have got much better performance just for the takeoff. Obviously don't forget to turn them back on, otherwise the pressure, the cabin doesn't pressurize and your passengers pass out. Okay, that's plenty of time.
Short runway 32 left.
Let's go. Toulouse traffic, Alpine 497 Romeo, runway 14 left, departing on the Laco 5 Alpha departure. Alright, all is good. Let's set the chrono and go. So, takeoff, set 50% in 1, side stick half forward, parking brakes released, and set takeoff thrust. Mantoga, SIS, runway.
Toulouse traffic, Scandinavian 428, lining up runway 04 left behind departing aircraft.
V1, rotate. Hard hardly any wind this morning. Nav? So I'm still hand flying this at the moment. Leave a climb, slow that nose, set climb thrust. Accelerating nicely given that the aircraft is quite light this morning. Pack 1 on. Autopilot 1 engaged, open climb heading. Passing S speed, flaps 0.
Toulouse flight is coming in Portsway.
Ground spoilers to sound.
Runway to the front left, so on Luke 5 as the departure.
Okay, we're now 8 miles. Let's go.
Easy 464 lining up runway 14 left after departing Scandinavian A320.
And we should track inbound back to the Toulouse VOR on this radial. We'll see how that works. Thank you to those following and liking on Facebook. Good to have you with us. Ooh, which airfield's that? There we can just see Toulouse with a line of traffic behind us. Swedish AF, yeah, that was quite a nice departure, wasn't it? A little bit of hand flying. We may still need to pop this back into track mode, track that VOR. Right, no ATC around, so let's continue our climb to a flight level of 200. So that's standard pressure. Thrust climb, open climb, 200 blue. Okay, I'm going to pull that heading bug now. And let's track that radial. Doesn't need to be exact, as long as it's close.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign.
Toulouse traffic, easy 464.
So just in track mode while we get this radial.
Runway 14 left.
End of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not
5 miles
permitted
from
at any time. This
Coming up at
includes
10,000 feet.
e-cigarettes.
Lights off. Just check I put the other pack on then as well. Don't know if we'll be able to see Toulouse down there. Oh yeah, there it is. How good is that? I love it. And there we can see. Is that Nick departing? Might be. Okay, so let's go back now into nav mode. Off track mode as well. Let's clear the RadNav page out now we're finished with it. Flight level 320 is available to us, so let's continue our climb. Flight level 320 blue. Let's release the cabin crew, and at the same time actually we could also release the passengers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available.
Just keeping an eye.
Contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance.
We've got traffic ahead of us.
Thank you.
Very difficult to see in the daytime, as per the real world. So he's starting to get closer and closer. Let me just... He's obviously ahead of us, going to the same destination. Let's halt our climb. Let him climb above us. So let's come back and we'll hold our climb. Fly level 180.
Lined up runway 14 left.
Speed Alt Star. Didn't give the aircraft too much time to capture that, but it's done a fairly decent job. And we can see now he's continuing his climb. We'll let him get 5,000 feet above us, then we'll continue our climb back to flight level 320.
Hotel, taking off runway 14 left.
Okay, so continuing our climb now. Let's set flight level 320. 320 set, thrust climb open, climb 320 blue. And all should be good. We might even see some contrail mist from him in a little while. I need to clean my computer screen. I can see bits. Oh, there he is. I can just see him now. Yeah, that's no threat to us. Afraid I've no idea when TCAS will be released. I keep seeing it being updated daily, and I'm not just saying that. It is being tested and worked on daily, so I can't see Flyby being too far away from getting it sorted. I really can't, and I hope it comes back very soon, because I know how important it is to everyone. Mohammed and Mr. Haratoya, thank you so much for subscribing. Great to have you on board with us today. Theo Mark, good afternoon to you. Is it afternoon? Don't confuse me like that, it's still morning. Big Strong 777, hi mate, good to see you again. Is that mist in the... oh wow, that's stunning, look at that. A little bit of freezing fog. Oh, beautiful. Wickstrom 777, you'd be proud of me. A couple of weeks ago, I spent a few hours in a 737-800 simulator. Man, I was so confused. If anyone wants to try it, that's based just off Junction 36 of the M1 here in the UK. Fly Me is the name of the studios. Flight school, where they also train cabin crew as well. There's just bits of aeroplanes everywhere. It's like a kid's playground. It's amazing. So I've still got that guy on my TCAS. He's still 3,800 feet ahead of us. He's not an intruder. It looks like he's actually going off on a different flight routing to us, so if we are headed in the same place, that's fine. We're going to be going different routes. We're just passing down flight level 250. Flight Hill, is there a weather problem at flight level 230? Not as yet. In fact, ISA is 0. It's spot on. I'll keep an eye on that though. Let's see what happens. Swedish AF, the 737 is so confusing once you've flown the 320 for a while. I mean, they all do the same things, don't they? But they just do them in different ways. I am loving the freezing fog down there. That looks tremendous. To be fair, given the fact that it's not a long flight, we're going to be doing our approach briefing pretty soon. Should be nice and straightforward going into Nantes. I'm really looking forward to seeing this scenery available from Orbex for Nantes, which I've not flown into or seen before. I haven't even pre-tested it. So let's hope there's no CTDs as we get there. Rox G85, wow, thank you Rox so much for your kind donation, your $8.99 donation there, Rox G85. Really hope you're having a great day, and thank you for joining us this morning. Very, very kind of you, do appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. Wickstrom 777, imagine me checking out an A320 after 16 years on Boeings. Yeah. I wonder which is easier, moving from Boeing to Airbus or vice versa. I get the feeling going to Airbus would be easier, but only because I think it's a tad more ergonomic. Or maybe that's just because I'm more Airbus inclined. Rox G85! Again! Rox G85, thank you so much. That is incredibly kind of you, Rox. I'm loving the emoji as well of the flying. Looks like a super bear. Very, very kind of you, J85. Thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. Hope you're having a great day, and we're providing you with some entertainment and education whilst you're doing whatever it is you're doing this morning. Thank you for being on board. Usually when stop and descent implemented, when it's good and ready, I'm afraid. The fly-by-wire don't give any times on that. Obviously they're all volunteers, so they do it as fast as they can. Lucas Miron, good morning to you. Hope you're all well. RLS Printed Design, thanks for answering the PAX question. Any sign that Father Christmas may bring you a VR headset? You love flying other planes in VR, but struggle with the 320-322NX. Well, I tried this at the Fly Me Studios. I loved flying this in VR. I don't have a VR setup here myself. And to be honest, maybe you guys can answer this question, because I actually don't know the answer to this. Could I fly here in VR in the sim while you guys while still streaming to you guys? I mean, I think that's going to take one heck of a beastie PC. And obviously you guys would want this view here that I'm panning around in. You don't want to see the VR headset, do you? So no, definitely not. But yeah, VR is mightily impressive. Sarkotech, hello. You live near Nantes. There is a lot of fog, so can't wait to see this foggy approach. Well, you know what? Let me just bring the charts up. When's VPs come into force? And we'll check. Noise abatement versus thrust, exemptions, taxi, low visibility. When the runway visual range is lower or equal to 550 meters. Should we get some meta? 1,000 feet to go. Hey Christian, how was your lunch? I'm pressing the wrong button. Weather request, try that. Mac Alt Star. Jim 610, streaming VR is not a good viewer experience. Yeah, exactly, and I want you guys to be able to enjoy it just as much as I do. What we got then? we have got right, overcast at 200. So visibility technically is 1,100 feet. Runway 3 is 1,600 feet with mist, overcast 200. Technically, it is still Cat 1. Lucas, I did see the new remote will do compatibility for a tablet. Yeah. Thankfully, I've got one. Although I've lost it, I have no idea where that is. I need to find it. Technically, this is still Cat 1. Now, what would happen, of course, in the real world is ATIS would be telling us whether LVPs are in place. But if it's telling us that the runway visual range 1,100 meters, what is our let's have a look what the ILS approach chart minimums are. Cat 1 is 275 feet. Okay, right, well let's get this into the performance page.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you'll be delighted to hear that we're now at our cruising altitude, and we hope to give you nice views throughout the flight as we have good weather ahead and shouldn't be experiencing any turbulence. Of course, this means that you will not spill any of your drinks that you may have from the cabin crew as they begin to start making their way around the aircraft. Could you please ensure that the eyes are kept clear so the cabin crew can offer you their cabin service, which will begin shortly. A reminder that EasyJet Simple Pilot channel members are able to access free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight.
What's the transition altitude then for this approach? 5,000 feet. Wind isn't going to be an issue looking at it, so still Cat 1, 273.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
It will be very interesting to see, of course, how well Microsoft Flight Simulator has popped this weather in. Let's have a quick look at the chart then for some information. ILS is 109.9. We've got the Nantes VOR on there. We can use that for some descent planning. Elevation is 73 and missed approach information. Straight ahead 1,300 feet, left turn, max 200 knots to 4,000 feet. Intercept and follow the 334 radar from Nantes to Nantes. Do not turn before passing the missed approach point. And climb to 1,300 feet prior to acceleration. Okay, we'll get that all set up. And then we'll brief how I want to do the approach. So, let me just set up some missed approach fixes in here. So let us pop in the November Tango Sierra, that's Nantes VOR, and I want the 154 radio out of there. No, I don't want the 334 radio. And that should take us to Nantes. Onto the RadNav page, I'll also pop that in here as well. NTS 137 miles away. So we are at 32,000 feet. Let's have a look. When are we going to start that descent then? So a 15-mile DME arc, if we were flying the full DME arc, don't particularly need to. That's the full approach, of course. Let's just see, we've got Laroc. And then after Laroc, we could build this up. So what we could do is go Laroc, then direct to Dogov. That would get us nicely lined up with ILS. Let's put Dogov in there after Laroc. D-O-G-O-V. And insert. Okay, let's just flip through the plan. Apologies if I'm missing anything on the chat at the moment, just whilst I'm sorting our approach out. Ooh, what's going on here? Let's just... let's get rid of Dogov for the minute. In fact, no, we won't get rid of Dogov. Let's just clear the 165Q. In fact, no, we won't. Let's get rid of Dogov, and then what we're actually going to do is we're going to put in Dogov there. I've put it in the wrong place, that's all. That's better. So let's scroll through that plan now. There we go. Lovely. Okay, quick approach briefing on how we're going to do this. So it is still technically Cat 1. We want to be green dot before. I want to be green dot, heading to green dot as we're getting towards, as we leave Laroc, heading down to Nantes, and then, sorry, 60.8 miles from Nantes. Flaps 1 then, as we come into Dogov, flaps 2 with the glide. Time for the top of descent. That is going to be done at, whoops, nearly knocked my cup of tea over. Don't want to do that. What are we at? We're at 32,000. We want to be 3,000 at Dogov. So that's about 87 miles. We've got a headwind as well, so that's helping us. Let's call that 90 miles with the help of the headwind and time to slow down. So, flight plan page. Fix info. And D-O-G-O-V 90 miles. There it is. We're not actually that far away. Didn't think we would be. Nice short flight. Just before we start that descent, let's finish our briefing by looking at anything regarding once we've arrived. Arrivals, tax procedures. That's runway 3. Okay, so we'll look to taxi probably on Charlie or Delta, either or. So right-hand turn straight to the terminal building. Okay, auto brake low. Top of descent mark is coming up. So we've got the weather and landing information all in. The FMGC is coded. Landing elevation is 73 feet. Auto brake low. We've done our arrival briefing. We know what we want to do. For anyone that has joined us and may have just missed that, the plan is to leave Larock, get down to Green Dot before 16.8 miles NTS, flaps 1 from here on in, 15 mile DME arc, then flaps 2 as we capture the ILS. We need to be sure that we're going to see that runway. Okay, use the RNAV initial approach. We don't use the RNAV initial approach. We're not doing the RNAV. Right, so there's our top of descent. We're going to start heading down.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination.
Thrust saddle, over descent, 10,000 feet, blue.
If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear and the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft.
The weather, for anyone asking, does appear to have been fixed.
That would be most appreciated. A reminder for our EasyJet pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an EasyJet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Okay, SC Ramers, just checking something for you. You were talking about that particular waypoint, that distance of 16.8 miles from the NTS VOR. It is in the database, so check this out. You've got this one just here. So it's a distance on a radial of 165 from the Nantes VOR. You can't see that radial on here, but it is 165. And Q is 17 miles out. Now, it's obviously 16.8, but we've rounded it up. The Q stands for the letter of the alphabet, which you can just count through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So you know that waypoint there is 17 miles away from somewhere. It's the NTS VOR on a radial of 165. So that is that waypoint before dog-off. Hope that made it a little clearer. Jim Six saying you've been using Navigraph charts forever and you never knew you could pin the charts ready for use at the bottom. Indeed you can. Indeed you can. Okay, so we're 68 miles away. Oh, look at the freezing fog. This could be a really interesting approach. So we're going to do a Cat 1. We're going to do a Cat 1 approach. We need to see some lights as we get in there. This could be interesting. Yeah, okay, I could have used the RNAV waypoints if I'd wanted, but we don't really need to. Just want to check RAMNAV page has got the correct frequency. 109.9 for the ILS. That is correct. As when you added the start, it placed it at 17 miles on the 354 radial. What, in the opposite direction? I'd love to see a screenshot of that on the Discord. Not quite sure how that's been done. $60 miles away, we're just past 20,000 feet. Great profile. We do need to slow down though. How many track miles have we got left to run? Because this is quite accurate. 67. So if I want to be sure that all is going to be fine, we can just wind that speed up a tad. Speed 280. Get ourselves down a little quicker. What's everyone's plans this afternoon? Who else is going to do another flight after this? Sadly I can't, I don't have time. It would have been great to do the return leg, wouldn't it? Where are we in the diary, in the calendar? I keep losing all track of days. So next week at some point, next week, there is going to be a full day stream as we do the Santa run. I don't know what day it is yet. Stay tuned to the channel and the Discord server for that. We will be doing a Santa run with custom scenery between the two airports. I can't give any information, any more information than that at the moment, because I haven't planned it. But we will be doing a full day there and a full day back. It's going to be a long day, but hopefully it'll mean we get to see all of you at some point popping in during the day. Approach checklist. Minimums are 273. Set both sides. Engine mode selector is normal. Flat bag is stowed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return to your seats and ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If you are travelling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt provided. The toilets will now go out of use until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned on. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Paul, what a better way to spend an hour? A flight sim, an exercise bike, Christmas lunch out at 1:30 and then simming in the late afternoon. Paul, that sounds like an epic day. Is that what you're doing now, Paul? Are you on the exercise bike whilst watching the stream? Maybe I should try.
Non-traffic, easy 230 Delta, 20 miles south of the field. Coming in for the ILS runway 03 non.
Oh. Well, that was an aggressive bit of fog. Let's get that engine anti-ice on before we forget, shall we? Dark, you'll get Cholty to inspect your Boeing. Ready for that. Oh, does it have to be a Boeing? Marty will still be trying to install AIG successfully. Chris Hogg, good morning. Hope you're well. You've just come for the best time as we delve into this horrible misty freezing fog, which has just magically appeared. Dark Fury, the weather transitions will be fixed in the next update. Oh, good. We've never had a problem with weather transitions in Microsoft Flight Simulator, not since day one. It's only recently become a thing. Okay, we're going to continue our descent now down to 3,000 feet. QNH 1030, 3,000 blue. Rocks J85, back to bed, ready for your night shift. It was looking at the landscape as woke you and saw that I was on, otherwise might catch an hour or two in the sim later. That sounds like fun as well, Rocks. Where are you going to fly to? Don't think I've flown through freezing fog before. I'm interested to see how this looks in the sim. Okay, we just need to wind that speed back now as we're approaching 10,000 feet. RLS Print Design, thank you so much for your £5 donation, and it says thank you for the stream today and especially all the tutorials on the A320 and A320NX. RLS Print Design, you are more than welcome. How are you getting through your big stack of 3,000 sheets? We're probably around 15 minutes away from landing. See how many you've got done. Chris Hogg, we are flying to Nantes, where the weather is indeed reported to be rather foggy. So we can see other aircraft as well coming in for the ILS. In fact, those two look quite close together, to be honest. They're no threat to me at the moment. Track miles to go, 38. Let's reduce that rate of descent.
Traffic, EV45 Alpha Hotel, Lucid 1 Charlie, flight level.
Via speed of 1,200 feet per minute. That shall have us nice and fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you may have noticed that we have just begun our final descent into our destination. If you could now assist the cabin crew by tidying up the that would be most appreciated. For safety reasons, we ask now that you please turn off all electronic devices or switch them to airplane mode until after we have landed. Please note that the aircraft toilets are now out of use.
So we have just activated the approach phase.
Remember, please contact a member of your cab crew who will be happy to assist you. Thank you.
And on traffic is 230 Delta, 3,000 feet over Takeoff, joining ILS runway 03 knots.
Nantes traffic, Alpine 497 Romeo, just passed overhead Larrock, inbound, full procedure for runway 14 left, flight level 80. Rocks 85 might do the same flight. Hopefully the fog will have cleared for you by then. Okay, given the traffic in front of us, I'm going to start slowing down to green dot. So thrust idle, open descent. We're on to manage speed. Print and design, you had an unexpected mince pie emergency. So you're landing as well ahead. Still 1,000 to go, but should be done within the hour. Happy Christmas. The unexpected mince pie emergency. Is that someone showed up with them and you were required to eat some? Nice. Right, that glide slope's below us. I'm going to use a little bit of speed brake to help us with that. Don't want to miss the glide slope. Don't really want to be doing a glide slope capture from above either, given the current weather. Now, Chris, you can't use the dead builders. You can't seem to set your thrust in the fly pad. Once I get on the ground, Chris, let me see if I can give you a quick demonstration on how that would work. Okay, as we start to fly at a 90-degree angle now to the ILS, we should start to see that glide slope coming and creeping back up. Get flaps 1 out as well as we start configuring. So flaps 1 speed checked. Flaps 1. There, we can just start to see that glide slope beginning to creep up. With flaps 1 out, I've still got the speed brakes out as well. This could look rather dark and dingy down here, couldn't it?
And non-traffic using 230 Delta 7 mile final runway 03 knots.
How to not Microsoft Live weather is working for us, yes. Working very well as well, that it seems.
Traffic easy 624 going around to traffic.
Okay, I'm going to get flaps 2 out as well with that glide slope still beneath us. Speed brake still out. Speed checked, flaps 2. Just want to get on par with that glide slope, that's all. King Rora on Twitch, good morning. Chris, remind me when we've landed to show you the tablet. It is a simple thing once you've seen it. It's far easier to show than it is to try and explain it. We'll engage lock in a minute once I've got the glide. If I've got the glide slope above, I can go straight ahead and set the approach. But here comes that glide slope, look, and we're descending 1500 feet per minute. Pop those spoilers away. And that is nicely now on the glide. So with that glide slope above us, let's go ahead and hold our VS speed. 1,300 feet per minute should be absolutely fine. Speed 1,300 confirmed. And with that glide slope still creeping above us, let's activate the approach phase, autopilot 1 and 2. So we've got alt, glide slope, lock blue, cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. And we'll start to capture that ILS any moment now. Here's our final turn on the approach fixes. Nantes traffic, Alpine 497 Romeo, 13 miles out, runway 03 to land. Slight bit of toing and froing there from the aircraft. King Rora, I use the base game, I won't touch Google Maps. Lock star. I'm actually just going to pull the heading bug there. Get us flying straight and capture the ILS. In fact, why have I done that? Numpty. I was in lock star, I didn't need to do that. Is it normal procedures to use both autopilots on approach? Yes, for redundancy. Now we just need to hope that we can actually see the runway. That looks interesting, doesn't it? Great view. So realistic.
Next traffic, easy 464 over Toulouse.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Nantes traffic, Alpine 497 Romeo, established runway 03, 10 miles. Once we get to 8 miles, we'll start to reduce our speed.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Non-traffic easy 230 Delta is clear of runway 03 knots.
Glide slope star, missed approach altitude 4,000 feet, set. Here comes the pea soup. What were the minimums? 273. Let's hope we see some runway lights.
$2,500. Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you.
So it's time to reduce speed now, 160. Chris, the approach at the holding doesn't work. Holding function doesn't yet work. 6 miles. Landing gear. Spoilers. Lights. Nantes traffic, Alpine 497 Romeo, runway 03, 5 mile final. Flaps 3 and speed. So we're into managed speed now, continuing to slow down to final approach speed. 4.5 miles, flaps full. Landing checklist. So cabin is secured, auto thrust speed, go around altitude 4,000 set. ECA memo landing no blue. Quick brief of the go around procedure. So call for the go around, go toga, go around flaps, FMAs, pitch up, gear, and 1,300 feet will be our thrust reduction altitude.
1,000.
Here we go. Please be kind, weather. Something tells me we're not going to see it right to the last minute.
$500.
I can see the ground.
$400.
Come on, give me some lights. I see runway lights. We're good.
300. 100 above.
Autopilot disconnected.
200.
I have control.
Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Ground spoilers disarmed. Not disarmed, what am I about? Ground spoilers out, reverse green, decel. Reverse off. Disengage the auto brakes and vacate first right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when
Nantes
opening
traffic
the
runway
lockers in case
03
anything
vacated.
falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or EasyJet app.
Okay, let's just work out where we're going to park here now. We've just cleaned the aircraft up. All the lights are off. Taxi lights are on. Strobe lights are off. And quick check of the ground chart. We'll take a right. Loving this new scenery. Not seen this scenery before. So we'll go into parking stand number 2. Take the taxi lights off as well. Slow down our taxi a little bit, give us a chance to get the radars off.
Leeds traffic, Easy 464, establish localizer 03, 13 miles.
Lovely.
On and traffic's getting even for
Parking brakes
short
on.
final
Let's wait for that APU to come in. Flywing, this is live weather, yes, and it's default live weather. So once the APU is on, we will shut down the aircraft. Loving the sun just gleaming through the low-level cloud. Metar was correct today, wasn't it? And shown correctly as well. Look at the reflection off that winglet. Some passengers as well in the terminal. This is new scenery for me. I've not had this before, so great to be able to show this off. Big thanks to Orbex for providing the scenery for us today. There's the APU running. Let's get the engines shut down. Engine 1 shut. Engine 2. Seatbelt signs can come off. Below 10% on the M1. Beacon lights off as well. Oh dear. Can someone please call the mechanic? Ah! Clearly not everything has as yet been fixed. Squawk 2000. Fuel pumps are off. Oh, what a nice stress-free flight in the end. Great way to spend a morning with you guys. Just tidy up the flight deck, ready for the next flight. Yeah, Metar has been depicted quite nicely here in the sim today. Is that who's that that's just come into land there? Really glad that we got to see the approach lights. I didn't fancy doing a go around, just because I've got some stuff to do, unfortunately. But nice to see that.
Traffic, Easy 464,
well, there's Nick.
4 miles.
Nick will be there in 4 miles.
And on traffic's going to even 428, runway 03 vacated at Charlie.
Beautiful. Marty, disconnecting the jetway and then reconnecting fixes it. Does it? Let's try it. Let's see if that works.
03.
It does seem to have lost all hydraulic power to the connection point. Marty, yeah, bus to the terminal it is. Right, okay, let's try again. Marty Van Dam, you may have solved the problem. Look at that. What's that all about? Looks like they've got to walk through an air conditioning vent or grill before they can get through. But indeed it is. It's all been fixed. What a fantastic tip. Thank you so much for sharing, Martin. Oh, Nantes scenery looking great, particularly in this weather. This nice, realistic weather. Well, guys, that's me done for the day. Thank you so much for joining me on this morning stream. It's rare we get to do them, but really hope you enjoyed that one and got to see not a worrying approach, but certainly something that was a little different to the norm. I did think, Cat 1, are we going to get down? We've got all the missed approach stuff in on the navigation display just for help, and we briefed it briefly as well, and we'll just to recap what it was we needed to do. At the end, of course, we didn't need it. Not the lightest of flares and touchdowns, but we'll touch down nice and safe. That's the main thing. Okay, Tim, thank you so much for your donation. Although you still have to hold, thank you for the flight. Okay, I hope it's not long before you're back flying with us. It would be great to share the skies with you once again. So thank you so much, Boki. Very, very kind of you. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much to all of you who have donated and contributed during the stream this morning, to our EasyJet Simpilot channel members as well. Thank you so much for your continued support. To those of you who have flown alongside, we've had quite a few this morning that have, I'm sure you should have all been at work, but I'm glad that you weren't. Thank you so much for
next traffic, Easy 464 has vacated 03.
Nick, is that you that's saying you're vacated as you're power sliding off the runway? Oh, Chris, yes, let me quickly go in and show you that. Right, let me turn the flight pad on. So this is for people that are still struggling to get the thrust levers calibrated. So at the moment my thrust levers are at idle. That is my physical ones. Forget these. These do not matter. Okay, so none of this matters. Take your eyes off this. Don't even look at that when you're calibrating your throttle. So what you need to do is you need to go to the settings page. Is it then the sim options? Yep, sim options, then the detents at the bottom, and go to calibrate. So what you need to do, you can either start at the top or you can start at the bottom. All depends on if you've got a reverser axis. If you don't have a reverser axis, then make sure that that is turned off as so. If you do, make sure it's turned on. Okay, so at the moment my thrust levers, physical thrust levers, that is my TCA Captain side pack, my physical thrust levers are in the idle position. So I want to select idle, and then I want to click the set from throttle. Obviously I'm not doing this, I'm just going through the motions. So I want to click set from throttle. Once I've done that, I want to move to the climb detent, and then I want to move my thrust levers, my physical thrust levers, to the point where I want the climb detent to kick in, which for me, I've just moved there. I then want to set from throttle. Set from throttle. I then want to move it to where I want my flex gate to be, so I've now moved that. Now I'm going to set them again from the throttle, and then finally right at the very top, which is where my toga is going to be, so I've moved my thrust levers right to the very top. I'm going to hit the toga button, set from throttle, set from throttle. Reverse idle, then if you do have that option, click reverse idle, then move your physical thrust levers to where you want that to be, set from throttle, set from throttle, and then right down at the very bottom, if you have the reverser axes, reverse full, set from throttle. Once you've done that, hit apply and then hit save and apply. Only then can you check that it has worked by moving your physical thrust levers, and they should move to the exact same place as the virtual ones you can see on the on screen. Okay, so that is it. Hopefully that has explained it a little bit easier than me trying to type a message and get that going. So thanks very much everyone for flying with us today, seeing some beautiful scenery, and so many of you joining me in the skies. Hopefully you'll have a fantastic Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Goodbye everybody. See you next time.